Hello everybody, my name is Full Force Games, and I am here showing you guys how to develop a game in Unity. So let's go ahead and get started. To start off, you obviously want to create yourself a new area to work in. And yeah, you obviously can't do anything until you do that. Unity comes with a lot of base scripts. So if you just want to make a very generic game, you probably won't need to do a whole lot of programming. So that's why I'm not showing you how to necessarily program a game. I'm showing you how to program. But we will get into how to apply this programming into a game once we finish off everything I want to say. So in episode 1, we're just going to get out the basics. So first things first, you want to come in and create a new script, C# script, and that will get you something like this. You'll be able to name it. And go ahead and double click and open it up. Like so, and I already have it open. And this is what you'll get. Welcome to your first script ever, most likely in C#. Or if you're very new, you might want to go to the second or third episode. I don't know. This is for complete beginners, episode 1. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the very basics. Ignore these two things for now. Let's go ahead and come down here, and we're going to do comments, which look like this. /, and you can write whatever you want, and it won't get processed as code. You can use this if you're working with multiple developers. So basically, they know what you did and what they didn't do, and you can kind of work out things without talking. Multi-line comments or a /*. You can keep going like that. C# and Visual Studio will automatically complete it. And then you can just do / like that, and that closes it, I believe. Yeah, now you can type whatever you want in between those, and it will keep going. And it is what it is, I guess. There you go. That's how you do it. I was used to a different way of doing it. Never mind. So it's * both ways, just reversed. Okay. Next, we have methods and variables we're going to get into. A method is just simply this. Void. It means method, basically. All the method is it holds things that we can do in our program later. They're very useful for sorting out our program. Unity has a couple very basic ones that it starts you off with, like start and update. Don't delete these unless you know what you're doing, because you could kind of mess yourself up. But basically, start is going to, whatever you put in here, it's going to do once the game starts. So once you click the play button, or once your player double clicks on the icon on their screen, once you fully publish your game, this is what's going to happen right here. So you're going to put things in here you only want done once or for a certain amount of time at the start. Update's going to do things every time a frame pops by the screen, which in modern computers happens probably generally about 100 frames per second on average. So this will go about 100 times in 1 second. Depending on if the player's computer's bad or good, they'll see different results from that. So this will happen every frame. So whatever you put in here is going to happen in your game every frame. I keep repeating frame a lot. I am sorry. Probably sucks for you. Whatever. Okay. Next thing we're going to get into is logging things. Debug.log command. And in here, we're going to put that. Nah, I'm going to actually type something. Let's do hello world. World. I'm not used to this keyboard. And you end everything by putting this right here, semicolon. And everything that's not a variable, which we'll get into variables, has to go into parentheses, because the parentheses means that this doesn't do anything. If I were to take away the parentheses, it would give me an error, because hello world's not a command. This makes it not a command. So, if that makes sense, we'll get into that more. We're going to come up here, we're going to do File, Save. And the way Unity works is actually kind of cool. You can't use this script, like if I press play, and I come over here to the console, nothing's going to happen, because this script technically doesn't exist. Now what I mean by that, you actually have to put it in your game. So to do that, we're going to come in here, right click, and we're going to create an empty object. And this empty object is just something in space. We can move it around, but the player won't be able to see it on this camera. As you can see, the game object's technically within view. Just the player won't be able to see it because it's empty. It has nothing on it. But if we drag this script onto it, and then we hit play, we check our console. There we go. Debug.log object. Hello world. So, as you can see, you actually have to put your scripts on an object for them to work. So always keep an empty object when you're messing around, because otherwise you'll get confused, and that's no fun. Okay, back to the basics. We just type comments. Let's look a little bit more into methods. Methods basically start by typing void, then the name of the method. And we're just going to call the method write comment. And you always do that in next line. And I did not mean to put that parentheses. So this is how you always end. This is how you always write a method. All your code's gonna go in here, and I'll get more into what they do. So we're actually gonna come down here. We're gonna Control C, Control V. We're gonna go like that. And now we basically can write this in either one of these and it will work. Let me demonstrate. So if we type write comment, and Visual Studio uses autocomplete, this is going to do whatever is between these brackets, which is really cool about methods. Basically, they allow you to sort out your program so it doesn't get super messy. So when it starts, we're going to write comment, which is going to debug.log hello world. Let's demonstrate how that works. We're going to save and come to Unity. Game object already has that script, as you can see. And now console, as you can see, it's going to say hello world, and we're going to turn on clear on play. So basically, we just made a method that we can put stuff in, and it will do it for us. So methods are used for organizing stuff. You'll be using them a lot. Let me just say that once you get into actual programming. So let's go ahead and keep going. Let me demonstrate the update, I guess. Let me just show you what that does. Control C, Control V. Destroy that. I don't know why I said destroy. That was really dumb, but whatever. Now if we click play, now I'll keep writing it every time a frame passes by. So this will just keep going on. As you can see, you can kind of get an idea of how fast my computer's running. Let's go ahead and turn that off. My computer gets about 120 frames per second while I'm recording on here, so it's pretty good. Okay, next thing, that's write comment and such. Let me go ahead and put that back. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get into what's some other basic stuff. Variables, sure. Because variables are very important. So, variables come in all types of different things that you can write. Basically, You have all of these different data types. Let me go ahead and make a comment. You have integer, float. Let me just put down the major ones you're going to use. Decimal. What's another one? String. I don't think that's how you write string. I think it's like that. String. Character. And let me see. Boolean, whatever you want to call it. Okay, let me just go over this. Integers. Integers are whole numbers that I believe might be able to have one decimal place. So if I'm going to say integer ID is like that, and I say it's equal to 1. Like so. Basically, it's the same thing as a method, just you write whatever the data type you want. So if I want to say integer ID, this is a whole number. So I can say, this is when variables start becoming in handy, because now I can say debug.log ID, and I don't have to put it in the parentheses, because this is an actual code. So we're actually starting to code a little bit. Now I can change this to a floating point number, or a float. And this can have a whole bunch of parentheses. Or parentheses. Ha! I'm so dumb. Okay. Decimal points, not parentheses. I believe it can have up to 13 to 23, somewhere in there. I don't remember. You always want to use floats over integers because they're more precise. Decimals, I don't know specifically what they do. I think they're just another type of float. I think it could have like 32 or higher decimal places. I don't know exactly how it works. Then you have strings. Let me see. You have strings, which it is written like that. Basically, you can write words like that, and of course put them in parentheses because this isn't code. And that's what that's equal to. So I can actually say, hello world. And this is logging ID if I save. As you can see, it says hello world. So basically, variables need a data type, name, and what they hold. Unlike a method, variables can hold information, which methods technically can't. They do things that's within these brackets, and they can't hold information in them. That's why they're called void. They mean nothing. They're just there as a placeholder to neaten up your code, if you will, even though that's not technically a word. Who cares? But you also have characters. Which is basically, I can put a single letter within here. So if I just want to type H, there we go, that's that. Then I can use booleans, which are a very special type that you'll probably use a lot for practical purposes in your program. These can hold true, or they can hold false. Basically, true just means, it's just a value. It's just a word. It doesn't mean too much. Basically, you'll use this once we get into if statements and while loops. We can start using this in conditions, but I'll get into that in a little bit because this is a little more advanced. So we're just going to say ID equals, I don't know. We're just going to say hello world. We're just going to turn it back to that. World. And we're going to change it to a string. Like so. Okay, we're going to save it. We're going to keep that as is. And Now let's get into public and private things, which can apply to both variables and methods. Basically, I can put public or private. Private and public basically will determine your accessibility of that data type and or variable. What I mean by that is scripts, since this is object-oriented programming, which means things build on each other in C#, I can go into another script if it's public, and I can pull this variable into that script without having to redefine it. So you can actually do some really cool things. By doing this, let's say I can have a integer health that's equal to 10. I can have that on a separate script if it's public, and then I can go into another script per se, and I can create a void method that basically says hurt the player or subtract health away, and be able to call this from that without having to redefine health in that. So that's very useful. And also Unity does something really cool. Let's go ahead and move into here. Update please. Look, now we can edit it from here. So I can put whatever I want in here and it'll happen within my script. So this is very useful if you're experimenting with things. You can kind of mess around with the values like this very easily. So keeping your variables public, probably what you're going to want to do most of the time. Private variables make things a little harder on yourself, but you can still use them. As you can see, it'll say whatever I put in here, which is really cool. What if I just say hello? Not hell, I don't even know how to pronounce what I just said. Yep, hello. It'll say whatever I put in here. So that's strings. So that was variables and voids for you, aka methods. So start. Let me just go ahead and summarize what we've learned. Update will do things every frame. Start will do things once the program is initialized or started. Methods can hold information but cannot hold values themselves. And variables must have a data type, doesn't necessarily have to have a declaration of public or private. If you don't put this here, it'll automatically be private. And then it needs a value to hold on to. So that's the point of variables and methods. You can probably see how you're going to use them. I'm going to do a quick example and we're going to be done with this episode. We're going to call this player health. Okay, we're going to open this up. Okay, in this script, I'm going to say public integer health, not health, health. God dang it, this keyboard is weird. Health. We don't need that because it's not a method, I do believe. And we're going to call this health equals 10. And I didn't really talk about equals to. Equals to in programming just kind of means setting a value equal to something. So I'm going to say health equals 10. And then we're going to come into void update. I wonder, I don't think I do, but we're going to say, let's create a method called, I don't know, what should we call it? Method, I literally was about to type out method, I'm dumb. Void damage. And we're just going to go like that, and come back up. Void damage, and we're going to say, we're going to just say health minus 1 equals, How should I do this? Well, you know what? I'll introduce you to that. Health minus equals to 1. By putting minus equals to, that means that we're going to subtract and then set it equal to 1. So I'm going to subtract 1, and then we're going to set that equal to health again. So I'll demonstrate how it works. So in void update, I'm going to put damage, and we're going to say that. We're going to do file, save, come into Unity. We're going to drag player health on the game object. We're going to click play. I can't see it because I have this script running. Crap. Let's remove that component. And why you no work? Why you no work? Let me see. Damage. Health minus equals to 1. Health equals 10. Apparently I did something wrong. Wow. Health equals 10. Like so. Damage. File. Save. Well, I think you guys get the... Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm so stupid. Oh my god. Debug. .log. And we're gonna... Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Wow. Health. There we go. My god, I'm literally probably the dumbest person I know. Okay, let's go into the console. There we go. There we go. Now you can see it going down. Okay, that's it for this video. I'm tired of making dumb mistakes, so let me just go ahead and end it here. Today you've learned about variables, methods, and basic stuff in Unity. I'll go ahead. Next episode we'll talk about a few more advanced things and continue on in life. So, have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do whatever the heck you want. Peace.